What a tough beast. The wheels of this Ukrainian BTR-4 are smoking like it just drove out of hell. We'd bet anything this guy was behind the wheel. But let's get serious. What you're seeing here is a BTR-4 taking a hit from a Russian RPG and still completing the mission. Was it pure luck, or has Western armor found a worthy challenger? Let's break it down. With help from Ukrainian soldiers who've been fighting in BTR-4s since way back in 2014. Unlike Soviet-era APCs, the BTR-4 is a completely new, all-Ukrainian design. Its layout is closer to Western vehicles, like Germany's Fuchs armored carrier. As of 2016, about 85% of its components were made in Ukraine. It's known for being a relatively affordable and reliable platform, and after over 11 years of combat testing, it's earned its place on the battlefield. With that much experience, Ukrainian crews have had plenty of time to learn both the strengths and the weak spots of this steel brute. In 2014, the Bucephalus fought limited Russian forces in eastern Ukraine. Today, it's smashing elite Russian units across the entire front line, and its secret weapon is the Parus combat module, which has proven itself not just against infantry, but also against heavily armored targets. This vehicle is equipped with the Parus module. It's considered one of the best weapon systems for this type of armored vehicle. It has a 30mm cannon, a 7.62mm coaxial machine gun, and a KBA automatic grenade launcher. During the defense of besieged Mariupol, one BTR-4 crew stopped a Russian tank assault by flanking the armor and tearing it up with the main gun. And that's not the only wild story. In another battle, a BTR-4 armed with the Barrier ATGM ambushed a Russian T-80 and destroyed it with a direct hit. Just look at that glorious ammo detonation. And here, you can see its gun taking apart a Russian IFV like it's a carnival shooting range. The BTR-4 is also a nightmare for infantry. Its cannon tears through fortified positions and brick buildings alike with scary precision. Smash that like button to help more people discover our channel. You can take out enemy armor without even leaving your seat. You can tear down buildings. And Russians too. You reload from inside the vehicle. It's awesome. Press a button, it loads, and off you go. Fire away. It crushes trees and anything else in its way. Sounds pretty impressive, right? But it's not all smooth sailing. According to the crew commander, this powerful gun sometimes jams mid-mission. And in a critical moment, the last word goes to the machine gun. It happens. So far, so good. Sometimes the cannon jams at the worst time, but the machine gun saves the day. It's small, but it gets the job done. The armor's decent. From what I've seen, it can take a hit. Not a huge caliber, but enough to survive and keep going. Here's what it actually looks like inside during a mission. The gunner not only tracks targets, but also keeps an eye out for Russian drones. You see everything the gunner sees. Plus, there's this panoramic scope. You can rotate it left and right. So while the gunner is focused on the target, I, as the commander, keep watch for drones. And if I spot a threat, I just hit the target button and we lock on. To make sure the mission can continue even if one crew member goes down, the vehicle is equipped with two identical fire control systems. There are two fully interchangeable fire control systems. One is located at the commander's station up front. The other is in the troop compartment. That's where the gunner sits and engages targets. The commander carries a heavy load of responsibility. He runs the battle from inside, finds the best route, picks firing positions, and coordinates any infantry riding on board. I'm running the operation from inside the vehicle. I pick the route, the firing positions, and manage infantry if we're carrying any. This machine's job is to repel enemy assaults, support our own infantry offensives, and take out enemy armor, tanks, and IFVs alike. During combat, the vehicle carries a full crew of 11. Once the troops dismount, the BTR switches to fire support, covering soldiers and moving constantly to avoid becoming a target for FPV drones, ATGMs, or RPGs. The BTR crew includes a driver, commander, gunner, and 7 seats for infantry. If one of the crew members gets injured, the fight doesn't stop. Every one of the 4 soldiers can step in and take over. What I really like is, our crew is fully interchangeable. I can be the commander, the gunner, the driver, whatever's needed. If something happens, we just switch seats and keep going, or keep blasting. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Earlier in the video, we showed how the BTR-4, nicknamed Bucephalus, rips through Russian vehicles and terrifies enemy infantry. But what happens when the Russians shoot back? Can this armor hold up? During its early deployment for the Iraqi army, the BTR-4 had serious problems with steel quality. Some hulls even developed cracks. But by the time Russia launched its full-scale invasion, those issues were clearly fixed. And just to be safe, Ukrainian engineers added extra protective mesh around the vehicle, designed to lessen the damage from direct hits. Yeah, it comes out of the factory with full mesh. We added even more on top, to stop FPVs, aerial drops, whatever. It keeps stuff out of the engine bay. If something explodes, we don't want shrapnel hitting the glass or cooking the engine. Back in 2014, when the BTR-4 first saw combat, FPV drones weren't a major threat yet. But things have changed. Russian drone operators now watch every movement. And a meeting with an FPV warhead was only a matter of time. If it hits head-on, it won't penetrate. The cage helps. Without it, it would have gone straight through. But one hit us on the side with a shaped charge. Luckily, there was no infantry sitting behind us. The FPV burned through the mesh and pierced the armor. Smoke filled the inside, but the machine held, and the crew survived. I started blacking out. The smoke was just everywhere, eyes going dark. Luckily, the sound insulation worked. We didn't hear the full blast inside. It was just boom. And then smoke filled the cabin. The crew quickly regrouped and got the hell out of there, alive and still rolling. My gunner started shaking me. He was yelling, trying to snap me out of it. And that's when I realized, we're still moving. We're okay. I pulled my jacket up over my nose. But that wasn't the end of the nightmare. The Russians wanted to finish the job and opened fire with a BM-21 Grad rocket system. Rockets exploded all around the BTR, and shrapnel shredded the tires. Luckily, the Grad isn't known for its accuracy. None of the rockets scored a direct hit, and the vehicle kept going. They hit us with Grads and cluster munitions. It just kept exploding. Boom, boom, boom right behind us. One front wheel was gone, just the bare rim left. Some others were blown out too. And when we finally got out of the tree line, the wheel just fell off. But as experience shows, even with flat tires, the BTR-4 can still get your crew out and save lives. And this wasn't just a fluke. Stories like this keep happening. You can still drive this thing on 4 wheels, or with no wheels at all. It'll go, no problem. Yeah, maybe crawling, but it'll keep crawling on the rims. And that gives you confidence, knowing you'll make it out. There was another close call during a troop drop-off. A Russian drone started circling overhead and dropping grenades directly on the BTR. That's when the protective cage came into play, absorbing the hits and saving the engine and windows from damage. I realized they were dropping VOGs, grenades. I kept going, but they started yelling in the radio to turn around, so I did. The BTR took all the heat. While the guys were unloading, those VOGs were already landing right where I turned. Of course, all that extra cage armor comes at a cost. It's heavy, really heavy. But when lives are on the line, that added weight is a small price to pay. The standard BTR weighs 21.9 tons. That's without the added armor, the anti-RPG cage. Fully loaded, we're looking at 24.4 tons. To haul that much weight, you need a serious engine. No wonder this BTR was named after Alexander the Great's legendary horse. At first, it came with a tank engine, but engineers later upgraded it to something much more efficient and easier to use. Back when I was training in the city, the BTR-4E still had a tank engine, but the one it's got now, totally different. It works like a regular car. You just turn the key, the engine warms up, and you're good to go. But with the old tank engine, you had to heat up a boiler before you could even start it. Soldiers even joke that it doesn't feel like driving a combat monster, more like a regular SUV. The steering is smooth, off-roading is easy, and the built-in heater and AC keep you cozy no matter the weather. The best thing is, it feels like a foreign car. You can steer it with one hand and not stress about anything. The heater keeps your feet warm. In the summer, just flip on the AC, and you're golden. But the real ace up Bucephalus' sleeve is its mobility. Think it only performs well on land? Think again. This beast is fully sealed and can swim across water like an amphibious vehicle. Just imagine a fish casually swimming by and spotting this thing. Yeah, it's gonna be surprised. The vehicle floats. Everything went fine. I was ready for anything. But when it comes to floating, this machine can be trusted. We scared every fish in that lake. But honestly, I was impressed. The crew can easily control the propellers from inside the vehicle, adjusting the speed and steering left or right with ease. Once the BTR crosses a water obstacle, it lays down suppressive fire while the troops dismount and move into position.
Поворот здійснюється за счет
Propellers in the back, and you steer just by turning the wheel. Left or right. You also control the prop speed. Like on a pedal boat? Yeah, exactly, except way easier. If you want to learn more about armored vehicles that can swim, click the link in the corner. We've got a whole video on the Dutch YPR-765 and how it handles both land and water. The Ukrainian BTR-4 Bucephalus has proven to be a relatively affordable and reliable combat vehicle. Its weapon system gives it serious firepower on the battlefield. Sure, it's not perfect, but for its price, this thing can definitely go toe-to-toe with the competition. Want to see more videos about Ukrainian hardware? Maybe a deep dive into the Oplot tank, the Varda and Kozak armored vehicles, or even the Buravai MLRS? Let us know your favorite in the comments. We'll pick from the top-rated answers.